Hi guys, today we're going to do classwork 72, stretching parabolas, and a little bit more completing the square, but we're going to save the completing the square for tomorrow. So we're just going to work on the first page of these notes today, and I'll just assign homework from this first page. And then tomorrow we'll finish up with the second page, and you'll have the rest of the assignment 72 tomorrow night. So this will be a 2-day lesson. So looking at the do now, it says our aim is going to be how does changing the value of A affect the shape of a parabola. So our do now, we want to talk about the vertical shift and the horizontal shift. So just to refresh our memory, vertical means up and down. Horizontal means left to right. So if I am adding a value to the end of the function, that's going to be going up. And if I'm subtracting, that means I'm going down. Horizontal is switched. So when you're subtracting, you're actually going to the right. And when you're adding, you're actually going to the left. So that's going to help us here. So vertical shift means a shift in the Y, again, going up and down. Horizontal shift means a shift in the X. So for vertical shift, that's going to be the number on the outside of the parentheses. So not directly attached to the X. So those numbers are circled there. So for number 1, I don't have a number there, so that means I'm not going to have a vertical shift. For number 2, I'm adding 2, so that means I'm going 2 up. For number 3, I'm subtracting 2, so that means I'm going 2 down. And for number 4, I am adding 3, so that means I'm going 3 up. And then for the horizontal shift, we're talking about the number inside the parentheses with the X. So for number 1, I'm subtracting 5, so that means I'm going 5 units right. For number 2, I don't have a number inside the parentheses with the X. Notice I didn't circle anything, so that means I don't have a horizontal shift. For number 3, I'm adding 6 to the X, so that means I'm going 6 to the left. And then for number 4, I'm subtracting 4, so that means I'm going 4 to the right. And that's a review from classwork 70. So for exercise 1, what else does A really do in ax squared plus bx plus c? So far we know that if A is positive, the parabola opens up, and if A is negative, it opens down. So I believe that was lesson 69. We talked about that, happy face and sad face parabolas. So using your calculator, we're going to sketch a graph of x squared, 2x squared, and 1/2 x squared on the axes. So the first one I'm going to do is x squared. It's going to look something like this. Next one I'm going to do is 2x squared. It's going to look something like this. And again, just do this in your calculator and copy your picture. And then the last one is going to be 1/2 x squared, which is going to look something like this. And then it says, explain what's happening when we multiply x squared by a. So if you notice, when a is a bigger number, so when a was 2, that's going to be my red graph, my parabola is skinnier. And then if you notice, when a is smaller, so when it was 1/2, which is the yellow graph, my parabola is wider. So to sum that up, if a is greater than 1, the parabola gets skinnier or thinner. And when a is between 0 and 1, the parabola gets wider, or you can say fatter. So that's the main point we're going to talk about today. So I really want to emphasize this box. This is the most important part of today's lesson that you need to know. So we're going to write the number of each equation beside the curve. So I'm going to start with the ones that are sad faces. And remember, sad faces mean that I have a negative number in front of the x squared. And happy faces mean that I have a positive. So for the bottom part, I'm going to start with this graph here. I know I need a negative in front of the x squared, so it has to be either 3 or 5. And it's a skinny graph. So when it's skinnier, that means I have an a that's greater than 1. So that's going to give me choice 3. And then for this one, I know I need a negative in front of the x squared, and the only one left with a negative is choice 5, y equals negative x squared. So that's my bottom ones. Now when I move to the top ones, I have a really skinny here. So I know I need a positive in front of the x squared and an a value that's bigger than 1 because I have a skinny graph. So that's going to be 1, 3x squared. And then my really wide one, I know that I need a value of a that's between 0 and 1. So that's going to be 1/2 x squared, which is choice 2. And then the only one left is choice 4. Y equals x squared is going to be this middle one that I'm tracing in yellow. And that's today's lesson. So I will post your homework with this video in the post, and that homework will be due tomorrow. And then the following day, so Wednesday, our lesson will be the rest of this, and then the same homework assignment. So this is going to be a 2-day lesson. Hope you guys have a great day. Check out my TikTok that I posted on Classroom, and feel free to send me over any of your TikToks that are school appropriate, and I will watch them. And some of you already sent them to me, which is awesome, and I'm really enjoying watching them. So hope you guys have a great day today. Send me over some TikToks. Check out my TikTok.